EA Games should definitely be more of a hot seat for this one because what they did here, I don't agree with. Yes, it's about a questionable topic, a controversial guy out there in the FIFA scene. That's going to be Kurt0411. Call of Duty fans know him for calling out some of the most notorious COD pros in its history. Ninja fans know him for doing the exact same thing towards a guy like Ninja, which I'm sure a lot of people out there were okay with him calling him out. But Kurt, well known in the FIFA scene for being controversial and calling out FIFA whenever he wants to. It was over the past couple of days where apparently several streams of his were struck down by EA Games, including also on top of that a YouTube video where he called out EA community managers and also knocked on the game. Now, why I'm saying this is actually, it's just not a right thing because we've seen big companies do this before, but I would say they had much more of a right than EA Games here. I now have actually watched the entire deleted video. Nothing was really there. I will link the full video down below for all of you guys as Nick from Run It Up. The Market, he actually reviews the entire thing, about 23 minutes long. I watched the entire thing alongside him, and I didn't find anything, in my opinion, that would be well deserving of a copyright strike and deleting by EA alongside other copyright strikes being issued to Kurt's streams. It's pretty crazy that a big company out there can now just strike you down for simply making comments about their games. So let's break it down for all of you guys. The deleted video now by Kurt, which got him struck down by EA Games. And I can really do this pretty fast. Again, faster than you can actually watch the entire video. It's first of all Kurt during this video calling out a time where he was speaking with an EA community manager and potentially having an interview set up where he could actually ask questions to EA Games. That interview never happened. Alongside that, the guy who was actually reviewing the video live on stream, that being Nick, he gives us his own story about a similar time he was talking to someone who was close to EA, where he potentially could have come out and done some content, maybe asked some questions as well. And once EA Games found out it was Nick, who potentially could talk poorly about their game, they shut that idea down very fast.
Real quick, chat, something I never told you guys. Somebody who's in this community who's a I never really spoke about this with you guys, and there's nothing wrong with it because I do know some people that are with the game changers that is like cool, and I don't really know. I feel like that sometimes hurts you to be a game changer because the rep it has. But I remember there was this was like back in like FIFA 18. Somebody who is a game changer who's really cool and I'm cool with, and he hit me up in DMs and was like, "Hey man, like, congrats on all your growth and stuff. You know, like I'm speaking to somebody at EA, and they were gonna like." I was like, I don't want to be a game changer because he asked me, do you want to be a game changer? I was like, no. But then he was saying that like he was going to look into like getting me to go out to the capture event. So I was like, okay, I'll go out for like a day or two. I'm not going to sit there and scream at PAX, but I was actually going to get footage and like work on some stuff. And basically, bro, like EA came back to this guy and was just like, that's the end of the story, chat. They came back and were like, no.
Was it? I smashed it. That's what you have to do with these guys.
That was like the moral of the story. He's like, I'm not going to necessarily tell you what they told me to say to you, but the answer is they were not happy about my question.
Then I kid you guys not, the entire video is spent talking about 4 EA community managers and not revealing any private information. When I first saw the story, I thought, oh no, here we go. Kurt probably revealed some addresses, some full names, or some stuff he shouldn't disclose about these EA community managers because, albeit if you're an EA employee and not necessarily a public figure, you should not be exposed by anyone, and that would make sense. Kurt does none of this. He actually talks about 4 very public EA community managers, and he only talks really a lot about one. That's going to be Corey. We'll get to him in a second. The first of which, he talks about a forum manager. That's Roger. Doesn't really say too much about Roger besides his lack of real help in the community. He also talks about Zaro. If you guys follow this channel, we talked about Zaro as the EA community manager was hacked. Many a months back, he was hacked. It was crazy. A lot of things were revealed that we didn't know if they were fake or not. Ever since he came back from his hack, though, Kurt just criticized him for not being very active, much like that of Roger. He also talked about Chaboy, nothing really too, I would say, telling given that as well. And very lastly, what he focuses on is a community manager known as Corey, who he claims is here just for the clout and the popularity. Now, he goes on to make these allegations, which I think are actually backed up by both Nick and Kurt and other FIFA creators as well. This supposed that community manager known as Corey actually, first of all, had a personal account and then started his community manager account for EA, and ever since then has now deleted his first personal account, and ever since about a month or so ago, he actually has now changed his EA community manager account to his new personal account, and now if you want to contact him for any EA stuff that's related to the community, you have to contact a different account. And so he's being accused of deleting his old personal account that no one cared about and now using his former EA community manager account as a new personal account because it has more clout, it has more following, and people are wondering, are you a community manager for all the right reasons? Are you a manager to help out the community? Or are you a manager for your own popularity? Which I think, albeit given the evidence, seems to be a pretty strong argument to make here. But the overall issue is not the fact that he called him out for that. The overall issue is here we have EA Games striking down a YouTube video, giving the owner a copyright strike, which, by the way, on YouTube can be very detrimental. Something we are super scared about on this channel is once you get 3 strikes, you're done. There's no coming back. My job is gone. My whole livelihood is gone. And a guy like Kurt now has 1 copyright strike against him because EA didn't like something he said about their game or their community managers, which I do think he had sufficient arguments against. And with that, did not reveal anything private, and I would say anything inappropriate about these figures besides the obvious. It is okay when Epic Games strikes down Fortnite creators because they are promoting, selling, and buying skins or scam websites. It is okay when Activision targets creators and copyright strikes them for revealing information that's not been yet updated to their games, giving out leaks that should not be leaked yet because they own that material. It is not okay for me to see EA Games, albeit Kurt is very, very controversial. Sometimes he says things he shouldn't. Sometimes he does things he should not. When it comes time for a video receiving a copyright strike alongside several streams being struck down because he was playing their game and knocking on some bad updates, bad server issues, and the obvious issues inside the community, that's not fair. That's not right. In my opinion, that should not be how things operate. That's a dictatorship. Oh, you're saying something that is true, but I don't like you saying it. I'm going to strike you down. Should not be the way that EA Games is running things. I feel bad for a guy like Kurt, despite all the controversy around him. Him being struck down for what he has said here, in my opinion, is not the right way to operate a business, but that's classic EA Games, right? They do a lot of great things very, very well. They do plenty of other things not so well. What do you guys think about this one? EA Games has now struck down a content creator simply for speaking out against the way they run things. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. The full video will be linked down below for all of you guys to review as well. Breaking down esports gaming news here every single day, all day long. As per usual, if you guys have a story you want me to cover, my DMs are always open, and I'll make sure to cover it as soon as possible. Until next time, take care. Don't talk bad about EA, because you'll be struck down forever.